Paul, how's this week been with the conditions and everything else? A bit of a team effort mucking in, we saw on social media.
Yeah, to get on the pitch, we had a bit of snow on it. Yeah, then yesterday we had a game at Leicester, which was great, and then trained today, and then we're due to be off tomorrow, and then a couple more days training before Wigan. So it's never ideal, you know. We don't want that. So yeah, but we've got out of it what we needed, so that's good.
In terms of the game at Leicester, was that some game time for some fringe players and or some youngsters, or was it mainly first team players that were involved in that?
No, it was the boys who needed the games. We arranged it a while ago, sort of preempting that we thought we'd be getting players back from injury and it'd be good, so whoever didn't play the Huddersfield game would be able to pick up minutes in that. And as it's worked out, it's worked really well for us, simply because the players back from injury weren't as further down the line as we thought they might be, you know. So a lot of them that's their first real minutes. It's good. We had Tommy playing an hour, Sander 70 odd, Jebbo an hour, Robbo an hour, Jaden, Lowy and Bash another 90. So yeah, we had a lot of players coming back, playing games, and it's always good when the likes of Dave are getting the 90 minutes as well, because we know that Wes has been in good form and playing a lot of minutes in the first team, but you always need to have your goalkeepers up to speed, so it was a good exercise in that respect.
You mentioned a couple that we're going to check on, Robinson, Doyle and Jebison. Are they now kind of available to get back involved with the first team squad, or are they still picking things up gradually?
Yeah, they're fine. They've been training with us now a week or so. Like I said, it's important they can get those minutes, because we need to get them fit, keep them fit, so that when they get the opportunity to play, they can give the best account of themselves and help us win points.
John Fleck was the other one I was going to ask about. What's the latest with him?
They're still sore with his leg from that bang he took, where we had a bit more swelling on it. So we're going to have another little opinion on that and see what needs to be done. Do we need some sort of intervention, because we've got to this stage and just getting him over the line. Like, so we all know he's wanting to play and we could play him, but when he's been getting contact on it, he's been suffering with it. So we need to have a look at that.
Clearly the club will still be waiting to hear the verdict in Ollie McBurnie's trial that's been going on at the minute. I imagine you've been keeping close eyes on it. Do you know what the situations are in terms of him, with what happens in that?
No, just waiting. I think it's virtually the judge has gone away and coming back, so I was hoping to have everything done. Speaking to you guys, it's not, so yeah, we'll release a statement to the club once we get to the verdict. In
terms of his fitness, you know, if he is available for Monday for whatever reason, how is he? Because clearly he had the surgery over the break. Yeah, so he's not where we wanted him to be. You know, we wanted to use him, but it's like I said to him after the game, we want to get you back, need to get you back 100% fit, not just you putting yourself forward to play cameo roles for us. He's shown how important he's been to us this season once we've got him fit. So that's got to be the priority for everyone. Obviously his week, he's missed out on minutes, his week's been affected badly by circumstances out of our control, but we'll pick it up again as soon as we can. I wanted to ask a little bit about January plans as well today, because only a couple of weeks until there. Do you know what you'd like to do now and what there is and isn't potential of any kind of incomings? Keep the players, keep saying it. You'll keep asking me, I'll keep saying the same. Give me the players back fit in this squad and we'll have a good goal. So are there any kind of targets you're going to be looking at, or is it a case of you're just not going to be looking at adding to the squad that you've already got? We'll look all the time, not around windows, we'll look all the time, but for me the priority is keeping the squad together. In terms of the return and against Huddersfield, did you feel that it was a game that in the end did more than enough to win the game and probably could and should have been a little bit more? Yeah, fair result. In terms of that, and probably a fair account of the game. Yeah, we don't look at it that way. Like the way we look at the game, we always want to be where we need to be better and try and relate that to the next opponent. But yeah, if we were just going to debrief the game and give a summary of it, probably what we said after the game. I thought first half we were excellent.
and everything we'd worked on were there. Second half, not as good without the ball, and watching it back, didn't move it quick enough. And listen, I'm not picking out Huddersfield here now, but how they played, they didn't make us do that. Do you know what I mean? But you're always in danger if you just when there's one goal in it, and that's what I didn't like about it. So as much as you could look at stats, you could look at the game and think we're well in control, which I felt we were, and on the side you feel comfortable. But it only ever takes one moment when there's one goal in it, and that's where we want to always keep pushing and try and take ourselves out of that danger.
Is it going to be a bit, from a kind of fitness perspective with the players, going to be a bit cat and mouse over the next few weeks with so many players now at different stages in terms of when you look to introduce them and who comes off the bench and who starts?
No, not really, because we've got a good group. Now you can see that, you can see the bench, you know. Lowy's fit as a fiddle now. Obviously Jaden's come back, got more minutes. Bash has been playing 80-90% of the games, and they didn't get on. So we brought Ollie on, we brought Sandra on, brought Reader on, throw Jebbo, Robbo, and Tommy Doyle into that. I'm going to be leaving some good players out of the squad, you know, and it's not going to be a reflection on them, it's going to be a reflection on us eventually getting that group back together. But I think everyone understands that won't be fixed, you know. There'll be different 11s, there'll be different substitutions. It'll just be about getting that balance right, so we've got those options from the bench, which I like to have, which I tell the players to help us win the games.
Very timely for Billy Sharp to get back on the score sheet once again. Are you hoping, expecting the floodgates might open a little now? Seems to be the way with strikers.
I hope so. Listen, I don't think he's had as many chances this year as what we got last. I know he's not had as many minutes on the pitch, but when he has been on, but his application to it and how he trains, I say that all the time. But also his role in the team, he's not underestimated. So, yeah, we put in the team to score, but he knows his role is much more than that. But the fact he's scored, he does tend to on runs. You can see that, and I think I spoke about after the game that we played Rotherham, and he scored 2 really good goals that he'd really enjoy, you know, and could have had a couple more. So I did fancy him to score in that game.
You've already got a 5-point cushion to third and the rest. Do you see the kind of festive fixtures as a real opportunity to try and grow that?
Yeah, all of them, all the games. But I'm not bothered when they come. I just think the harder we work now, the more points we get, the easier things can become. And that's not to say we're complacent. You've got to earn every one, and we know we're playing a team now with a brand new manager who had looked really organised and had a good positive result at a tough place to go at the weekend. First home game, probably as tough as it's going to get for us, so we have to be ready for it. But it's the same old message when whoever we play this season, when in this league, if we don't come and be strong, we can either win games by being at its best with the ball, without the ball, or just being really resolute and strong, or produce everything. But we know we've got to be worthy winners. We've got to produce something to win the game, because teams they're not going to roll over.
Are they still very much going to be a bit of an unknown quantity with Colo Torre just finding his feet?
Yeah, they could change again. They could have been working on a lot. I mean, I think Colo would have preferred to have gone in at the beginning of that break and had all those weeks to plan. He got, you know, a good full week in, which is rare, but he would have liked more. But again, now he's had another 9 days, so there could be changes, changing shape, personnel. As I say, I think that's, for us then, it's usually the simplest way and most effective ways for us to focus on ourselves.
There's some strange things in football, but getting the boot 16 days after you signed a 3-year contract with a club for Liam Richardson seems right up there with it. I mean, as a fellow coach, I imagine you had a heck of a lot of sympathy with him. Yeah,
definitely someone I know as well, so yeah, a lot of sympathy. Listen, we sat there, we don't know what's gone off behind the scene, we don't know what's at the back of it, we haven't got a clue, and usually there is.
Great opportunity for Colo Torre, though. He seems to have done his apprenticeship under Brendan Rodgers over the last few years as well, and says a lot about him to take on a job, like Wigan, not necessarily one of a fashionable club, shall we say.
Yeah, it's like I said, probably had a good mentor, teacher, if you like, and someone to learn of, whether that's been at Liverpool, Leicester, and I'm sure he's picked up a hell of a lot, and wants to cut his teeth now and be the one making the decisions, and yeah, it's a real good opportunity for him, and again we have to guard against that, because that brings that enthusiasm. There's no guarantee on the results that come, and people talk about the manager bounce, but there's always that bounce in the environment, everyone working, the staff, it's fresh, it's changed, a lot more people's on edge, so that's there, that's undeniable. We have to be the ones who make sure that the result don't follow.
Just finally from me, France or Argentina?
Not interested now. Not watched the game since they knocked England out.
Genuinely not?
Genuinely not, no.